feels so great to be back here in the Arbuckle Tract. I think this is my 5th straight video in the Arbuckle Tract. Just love it here. It was kind of a pain in the ass to get here, but look at this. What's not to love about this? Tonight I'm staying at the last site that I'm going to preview here in the Arbuckle Tract, and that is the Grave Island site. I'm looking forward to it. Got a really late start. Traffic was terrible. I got lost. And so it's already after 4:30, but it's only about a mile hike in. If you choose to park here on the Tram Road parking spot, it's only about a mile in. More on that later, but just thrilled to be here, and thank you for coming along with me. Let's go. All right, first things, how to get here and end up at that parking spot. This should have been obvious. I mean, if I just looked at a different map, it would have been painfully obvious, especially since I've been here before. But no, I made the rookie mistake of just putting in this Tram Road on Google Maps, and it took me all over the place. I ended up driving down miles and miles of roads through orange groves. It looked like I was still going to get here, but in the end it didn't. I had to backtrack, and it cost me about an extra 45 minutes. So anyway, just use common sense like I didn't, and come in off Highway 64. There's actually a Tram Road exit or entrance, and they'll even give you the gate code if you need to get back out. It is open during the day, and then they lock it at night. So that gives you a little security with the parking spot. And coming down that Tram Road, it's a beautiful drive in. It's quite a long trek in there. I want to say a couple miles at least. I actually got to the point where I was wondering if I missed something, but you will get to the point where the road ends and you see that parking spot, and then you head in on the Blue Trail, which we are on now. Now, if you watch my last video on the Isabel site, which is up here kind of off the same trail, I'll put a link for that below. But you'll see I parked in a much different spot and had a great hike in, much longer hike, about 3 or 4 miles. And for me, the best part of that hike was between Lake Godwin and here. So today I'm missing that. Totally okay with that, because like I said, I'm running late. Yeah, and I just did it a month ago, so I'm good with this. But we are going to get a new 1 mile stretch when we break off here and go to the Grave Island site. Today's March 15th, and quite possibly this could be our last bit of cool weather. It's only about 65 right now. Low, it's going to be around 50, maybe even the high 40s. And that'll probably be it for months. And I don't camp in hot Florida weather, so this might be my last trip of the year. Like I said, this stretch of the trail isn't as beautiful as the one between Lake Godwin and where I parked, but still has its own beauty, of course. All right, only been walking for less than 5 minutes, and we already have the spur trail to Grave Island site. It says it's 1.2 miles, so probably about 1.5 miles, maybe 1.75 miles from the parking spot. This trail trail's definitely less worn than all the other trails around here. Bone dry right now, even with the decent rain we had today. Alright, about a half-mile away. Hog damage all over the place. What the hell was that? I don't know what that was. Armadillo, I hope. Oh yeah, it was. Hi, buddy. That's the third one I've seen. So yeah, back to the trail. You really have to pay attention when it's overgrown like this. You know, when it's wide, you can see what's on the trail. Here, it's a lot easier for snakes to hide. This is really the only thing that really worries me. And wild hogs, of course. Something else up there. Thinking it's an armadillo. Yep. They are everywhere. Nice new bench underneath the tree. Getting close. Trail spreads out a little bit. Love the sound of the forest. Alright, so I'm going to put a link to the map like I always do, but there's lots of ways to get here. You can come in on the blue trail, you can come in from this side on the yellow trail, different parking options. I use school bus road sometimes, but for this one I just wanted to be close, and it's right down the trail. Firewood! All right, here's our first look at the Grave Island site. Give you a much more in-depth look later, but check it out. It's actually kind of like a double site. 2 fire rings, 2 picnic tables. Beautiful area right here for my tent. Right next to the creek. Nice trail down to the creek. Easy access for the alligators to come and get me. Kidding. Maybe. Very cool. It's much more enclosed, much more jungle-like than the other sites. But that's what I love about this place. Every site's a little different. Got some new gear with me this time. First of all, the Teton Sports Camp Pillow. Just your basic Amazon compressible pillow. I've been using an inflatable pillow for a long time, and that popped last time I was out. And I elected to go with this, even though it's about 25 times the size of my old pillow. I just never sleep good when I'm camping, so I thought it's worth the extra space. It's super comfortable. I already took a nap on it at home. And, you know, I've kind of settled into my sweet spot of camping where I'm usually hiking in less than 5 miles. Then I also picked up the Kelty 20-degree Cosmic Down sleeping bag. You know, it's kind of your basic, I guess you could say almost entry-level down sleeping bag. It's a mixture of down and synthetic. But again, much bigger than my old hammock gear quilt, but I just wasn't sleeping comfortable with it. I thrashed too much and it was coming undone. So it's a full sleeping bag. 20 degrees, probably overkill for Florida, but you know me, I usually like to go out on the coldest nights of the year, so sometimes that's in the 30s, and I sleep cold to begin with, so we'll see how this goes tonight. You know, it's going to get down to 50, which doesn't sound that cold, but Florida 50 is different than anywhere else. If you live here, you know what I mean. So the hike in may not have been as beautiful as the other sites here, but you are rewarded once you get here. This site's beautiful, has a completely different feel than the other ones. You're kind of up on the high ground. It's kind of jungly. Is that a word? Anyway, very nice. And it's a double site, so plenty of room for a group. All right, it's 5:30 already, so I'm just gonna get some firewood, get ready to cook dinner. It's gonna be kind of a short night tonight, and then I'm just gonna get up and get out of here in the morning. But I am glad I came. I wasn't sure. You know, I didn't decide until last night, and it was raining and gloomy this morning, and lots of traffic because it's March in Florida, but I am glad I came out here. This is awesome. All right, tonight we're going to be ripping the Mountain House rice and chicken. Super basic, and that's the way I like it. I have a real sensitive gut, and I don't want any issues out here. And I had this last time and really enjoyed it. This is one of the reasons I come out here. That last 30 minutes of daylight before the sun goes down and the forest comes alive. This is what I love. Should be a beautiful night. Hey, good morning. It's absolutely beautiful out here today. It's probably about 8:30 in the temperatures probably in the mid 50s. It was a beautiful night. Had a pretty good night. I have to say that new sleeping bag worked much better for me than my old top quilt. And, you know, my top quilt probably cost twice as much and took up half the space, but this was definitely worth it. Just kind of your basic Kelty 20-degree cosmic down, the one that, you know, is very, very common, very popular, but does take up a good amount of space and weight, but it was so worth it. And that 20-degree bag was not too hot. It was perfect, actually. I think it's going to work out great for me. But I'm just going to hang out here, kind of enjoy this morning, and really take my time packing up, and then I'm going to head out. But another great site here in the Arbuckle Tract. You know, I recommend them all. It's hard to pick one or the other. I still say that the creek side's probably my favorite, but you really can't go wrong with any of these.